Hello, lovely people. Today, I want to talk to you about arts and crafts, especially because I'm so connected and so passionate about them. The reason being, when I was in school, I was not so much into arts and crafts during school and college. But after I got placed and I knew I had a gap between my final year examination and my date of joining, so I thought I'm going to learn some art and craft activities during this time. That was my plan. But unfortunately, within a few months of me finishing my college, my dad passed away with a major heart attack. He passed away, and that put me into some kind of a depressive mode. I wouldn't say clinical depression, but you really know, right? When you lose someone very close to you or something really shocking happens, then you go into a state of mind where it's very difficult to come out of it. You feel so lost, you feel so alone, and I don't have siblings as well. I'm the only child, so that really made me feel extremely lonely. And I think art was the only thing that brought me out of that state of being very depressed. So when I started painting, I really found out that the colors and the various art forms, it brought so much happiness to me that I was really able to lift my mood up. I was really able to do that, and that is why I always recommend art to people. And even when I have to gift something to kids, for some festivals or something like that, I always buy art materials for kids, because I really think it refreshes your brain so much. It makes you such a positive person. I strongly believe art does a big magic, and that is the reason I really always gift art stuff to kids. And now I want to talk to you people about arts, because I think it will definitely help you brighten up yourself. And you remember in the previous episodes we were talking about taking just 10 minutes of time for doing something for yourself. Maybe this is a good starting point. So if you didn't know, okay, what should I do in this 10 minutes, then this is my suggestion. Let's start doing something in those 10 minutes. Now that I've spoken about art forms, the first art form I would like to introduce to you is Warli. The reason being, this art form is one of the most simplest art forms. So Warli is a tribe that existed they still exist to some extent in the parts of Maharashtra and Gujarat, around the suburbs of Bombay, and they have been existing even before Christ. And this tribal community has been so close to nature, and they've had a principle that they will not take even one thing extra from nature that they don't need. It's wonderful, right? People that lived so long ago were so thoughtful about nature, while people living today don't seem to care. They just seem to care about their own stuff. But anyway, so what this community did is, just like caveman used the caves and stones to draw and express himself, these people use the walls of their houses to draw and express themselves. So these paintings are very simple. It just consists mostly of a circle, some triangles, and some lines. That's it. So it's not a very complicated, it doesn't have an eye and different shades and everything. It's monotonic, and it's very simple art form. So with these basic shapes, what did they try to express? They try to express their lifestyle. They try to express their surroundings, their celebrations, their imaginations, their joy. That is what they express through these simple shapes. So that is why I wanted to introduce this painting form to you. So if you look at the thumbnail of this episode, you can see a painting, and that is a Warli art that I have done in the past, a few years back. And you can just Google or you can check on Pinterest for thousands of images, very simple, easy ones that you can draw your inspiration from. And you can actually make a painting on anything, on a glass bottle, or you can draw on some old pottery that you have, some old crockery that you have, or even on a piece of canvas. Or even if you don't have anything, if you don't have paints, if you don't have a medium, if you have nothing, just take a piece of paper and use a dark colored pen or sketch to make a beautiful Warli art. I would recommend going through the images on the internet and then using your creativity to just let it flow like a river. Let it just fall down like a waterfall, and let your creativity flow like a river from your brain through your hands to your fingers and then to the paper. Let it just flow. And if you take 10 minutes doing this, I'm sure you'll be so happy at the end of these 10 minutes. You'll feel so accomplished, and all that creativity that you had in your brain is actually coming into a picture. I'm sure it's going to make you feel amazing. So do try it out. I would really recommend you trying this out because I believe that this form of painting is one of the easiest. You don't have to be an artist, and if you tell me, my best painting was the amoeba that I drew in 6th standard, it's okay. This is a very forgiving art form, so you can just let your creativity flow, and I'm sure you're going to make a beautiful picture at the end of the day. When I talk about paintings, I also remember one more thing. When I was around 4 or 5 years old, when I was in UKG, so on one particular period, there was an advertisement campaign, I think was run by Pidilite, because that was the first time they were introducing the colors in tubes. So if you remember, if you're an 80s kid or 90s kid, mostly people used to do paintings. We had that watercolor tablets which we used, but the tube colors were pretty expensive and not everybody could afford it. So probably, I guess these guys were running some kind of a campaign, so they gave a lot of paints to the school for free, and they said, okay, use it and do something with your students. So that particular day, what our teacher had told us is, okay, today evening we're going to do this painting, so all of you be ready, but go have your nap and then you can come back and we can do the painting. When I remember the naps in school, I'm sure all of you, if you're in 80s 90s, again you can relate. We only had mats, and it were torn down mats and everything. It was not so sophisticated like what our children have today, but still everybody was actually forced to have a nap. So I didn't want to nap that particular day, and I said, no, I don't want to nap. So I was just silently doing something else, and I said, I'm not going to nap. So what the teacher told me is, if you don't nap, I'm not going to let you paint this evening. I said, yeah, okay, I'm not going to nap. And then that evening, I was so shocked that the teacher actually made all the kids in my class paint, but except me. So all these kids were like, squeezing some drops of paint on a paper, and then, you fold the paper, and when you try to spread the dots with your finger, you get some patterns, right? That's what UKG kids can do. So that's what these kids were doing, but I wasn't allowed to do that. I was really feeling very sad, okay? I still remember feeling so bad about it. And now as an adult, over 30, if that day, that impact still stays in my mind, it serves also as a reminder for me to double think about the way I treat my kid. Reason being that if there is something that was said to a kid or that was done to a kid when she was 5 years old can leave a lifelong impact even after she's in her 30s, then we can just imagine how careful we need to be with young brains, right? So this for me definitely serves as a reminder. And I also don't think it is fair to just because a child doesn't want to nap, it is not fair to say, okay, everybody else will enjoy this activity, but you just have to sit and watch as a punishment for not napping. I don't think that was the best thing that could have been done in that situation. Anyway, for me, definitely this is a life lesson. And if you've heard all these psycho stories where there is a kid who's having a traumatic childhood, and later on he goes on to become a psycho killer and everything, I think I am actually that kind of a kid. So that incident where I was deprived of the paint, that I think has really gotten into my mind. And now I'm like, when I go to a craft store, I just shop like crazy. So if I want 2 tubes of paint, I just go ahead and buy 4 or 5 tubes of paint. I just shop like crazy. That's the wildest shopping that I always do, is in a craft store. And my mom still scolds me, and she's like, you're not even going to use half of that. Why are you being so crazy and buying so many paints? But I think that's the the psycho kid inside me comes out, and I'm like, I want this, I want that, give me that color, give me this color, give me that, give me this, and I'm just crazy when I go to a craft store. So yeah, then what I want to say is, at the end of the day, crafts and arts definitely bring out the child in you, and it's definitely going to make you very happy. And every time I think about going to a craft store and buying paints, I feel so excited. I feel that the child inside me is just jumping outside and doing all the shopping. So I would really encourage you also to do that. And with this simple art form, let's, of course, in this channel, let's keep talking about more and more art forms. The reason being also that I think India has such a wonderful culture. Every region of India has so many beautiful art forms, but unfortunately this is not taught to us during school. In school we have like wax crayons and watercolor paints and just scenery and everything, but about the different art forms of India, about how to be appreciative about the art forms, I think that's not taught to us. And if we are able to explore that and pass on this information to our children, I'm sure they'll be more appreciative towards art, they'll be appreciative towards artists and folk artists, and they'll also be appreciative towards our culture. And I think that's very important, because we have such a beautiful culture to be proud of, so why not flaunt it. That's it from my side. So I hope you will let your Warli paintings flow, all your creativity get into the different mediums. And if you make a beautiful painting, do not forget to add that to my Instagram page or Facebook page, and please do tag me, and I will be very, very happy to see some of your paintings. So let's keep connected, keep watching, and keep listening to The Speaker Mama. This is the voice of an Indian mother.